Okay guys, so now we're going to talk about suspension in these kind of cars. You need to know that your suspension's set up. So, Joe, talk to us.
Okay, on most cars, front wheel drive cars, they got what they call struts. They're McPherson struts. They're different from shocks. The strut will have a coil set up inside a strut. And you can kind of tell the difference, and I'll show on the back in a minute what on the back on this car it has a shock, and it looks totally different from a strut. Like this one here is set up to where you got independent suspension. You got one set up on the front where each wheel will have its own control instead of having a solid axle. The difference from a strut, this is what they call a shock. See how the spring and the shock is separate. So this is a shock and this is the spring. It's not they don't have struts. Some of them will have 4 struts all the way around on some of these cars. This is set up where it has struts on the front, shocks on the rear. And as I was talking about the independent suspension, this doesn't have a solid axle like you would have on a truck or a rear-wheel drive car.
When this stuff starts to wear down your suspension, what are the key things somebody's going to see? So, you know, how do we know as drivers? I mean, what are we looking for when stuff starts to go bad?
Okay, what you do, you know, what we usually look for on struts and shocks, we'll look for leakage. See if you have any oil, which on this one you don't, but you will have oil running. You'll have oil and dirt kind of sticking together. You know that the shock itself is leaking. You get a shock to start leaking and getting weak, what you'll do is your tires will start wearing.
Uneven wear.
Okay. You'll have flat spots in them. You'll have flat spots where that shock is not keeping that tire. When it hits a bump, it should just bounce once and stay smooth. What it'll do is sit there, go down the road like a basketball.
And that's where your spots show up.
And that's where you'll have your flat spots.
Gotcha.
And a lot of people will complain that they're hearing like a roaring noise.
Right.
Almost like you're driving a big 4-wheel drive with big tires. Right. But it's because they're all flat spotted. My name is Joe Gaitan at Firestone Complete Auto Care. I'm the lead tech, and I am bilingual.